Hello, everybody. My name is Emily. I go by Earthling Emily. I'm a professional artist, and I recently decided to start this YouTube channel because I started a series that I've been posting on my Instagram Reels called Earthling Elaborates, which is basically just videos where I update you on what's going on in my life, what events are coming up for me. Sometimes I'll do a poll on my Instagram story and ask people questions on, or have people ask me questions, so I can answer them on these videos. YouTube feels really intimidating to me. I'm definitely a little weirded out right now. Even though I take these videos on my Instagram, it feels like so much more official on YouTube. But I'll get used to it, I'm sure. But yeah, I wanted to do this little intro video specifically because I am very called right now to do an oracle reading. It is the full moon. I have a direct shot of it outside of my window right now. It's rising, and I was going to do a reading for myself, which I still probably will, but I just felt inclined to use it as an opportunity to kind of break the ice and put myself on here for the first time. First time in a while, I should say. I actually used to post YouTube videos when I was, I think, 19, maybe a little younger. And they would just be really random, go with the flow videos, mostly just me climbing up in a tree and talking about I don't even know what. I didn't really have any rhyme or reason to be on here. So it feels funny to have graduated to coming back on here with more of a sense of purpose of what I'm doing. But yeah, a little bit about me. I have been creating art ever since ever since a very, very young age when I was a child. The first medium that I really got into was drawing. I would draw all kinds of stuff all the time. I've always had a very intense sense of criticism and hyper sensitivities to detail. When I was younger, I would be drawing, and instead of erasing a mistake, I would just crumple up the paper and throw it away. I never wanted to make mistakes, and that definitely pushed me back for a very long time with my art and my creative process, because I just was unable to really go beyond my own boundaries that I was creating. And then in high school, I started taking art classes, and I realized that I really loved acrylic painting for the reason that it taught me more patience, having to literally wait for the paint to dry. And through that process of learning how to paint, it also taught me how to flow more and allow mistakes to be morphed into something that is still beautiful and relevant. So I really fell in love with painting. I didn't really take it very seriously after I graduated for the first year or two. I just would paint every once in a while, and I wouldn't really try to make it anything. It was definitely a lot more abstract. And then in 2023, that was the first time that I tried to sell paintings of mine, because I was moving to my current residence in Reno. So yeah, I decided to try to sell some of my old paintings to make some extra money, and I did. I sold all of them, and I think all but one maybe. Um, and that gave me this sense of like awakening, um, realizing that I could actually like do that and that people really did support and like what I did. Um, and then I moved here to Reno and I got integrated into the art community, and I really started putting myself out there and meeting people who were doing these really amazing and cool things. And I have pushed a lot of boundaries even since moving here, of self and learning what I'm really capable of. And it was about a year ago. It was maybe a little bit less than a year ago that I started to feel a really deep calling to do art full time. I had been feeling it for years, but I got to a point where it was all I could think about when I was at work, and I could not be satisfied working my 9 to 5. And I was seeing videos on Instagram, like, if you're seeing this, this is a sign to quit your job and like pursue your art career. It was listening to me probably. But I was just having all of these signs, you know, and all of these really deep wants and desires, but I had no idea how I was going to accomplish any of them, and I felt so scared to like actually pull the trigger and quit my job. And I did not know where to start, didn't know what being a professional artist or a full-time artist would look like, and just a lot of fear, you know. But I journaled a lot. I kind of like made some outlines of like plans, just things that I wanted to accomplish and like how I might be able to accomplish them. And then slowly but surely, because I've been a caregiver for 3 years for elderly, and that was the job I was doing, which I loved. I still love caregiving, but I just was once again reaching this point where I was having this deeper calling, and it was really like taking over. So I just naturally, everything shifted. Like, I was mainly taking care of one person, and their plan changed, and they ended up not needing care anymore. So I lost the client, and then there were like other ones that I had lost as well, and it kind of just put me in a position where I was not really working at all anymore. So the doors just opened. I was like, okay, I've been waiting for this moment of freedom to where I can just, you know, figure this out. So I just took all the steps that I thought were necessary. I started working really hard on building like an inventory of products, because I originally was just live painting at events like on weekends and stuff. That's like the main thing that I was doing, and so I never thought about vending or anything like that, or selling my products, because I never really had products to sell. I would auction off my paintings as they came. But so yeah, I built an inventory. I got into doing fabric paint designs on clothing. and that added to my inventory. And then I got to a point where I had my first opportunity to vend, and I did, and it was awesome. And then ever since then, I've just been continuing to do events. I've been continuing to post a lot on social media and advocate for myself. I'm like learning all of the roles still, but I've gotten so far compared to like a year ago, where I just like had no idea if it was actually going to work out and what was going to happen. So that kind of brings us to right now. I do a lot of local events. I have gone out of state for events on occasion, and there's a lot more to come. I built a website and I sell on there. I also sell on Depop, and I'm just really diving into the whole precipice of becoming a full-time professional artist, and there's lots of things to come in the future that I'm very excited about, but I'm gonna leave those announcements for the future when they're a little bit closer. For now, I think that that's a good intro to, like, a good past to present kind of summary. I'm very, very thankful for where I'm at, and I'm very, very thankful for all of the people throughout the years who have always supported me and told me to keep going and that they believe in me. Some of you watching may have even been following me as long as to like have watched my old YouTube videos, which is really cringy, but but I love that. And for those of you who are just now like figuring out who I am, I'm very thankful for you as well for being here. I'm 23. I guess that's like something that people say when they're doing an intro video, is like how old they are. I'm 23, and I do feel grown, but I am still a baby, especially in this realm of doing all of the things that I'm doing. Like, I have so much to learn, and I'm so thankful to everybody who has ever given me any advice. And I am always open to making connections and helping each other grow. I just keep looking at this moon, and yeah, this whole month, well, I guess now it's November, but the whole month of October, I guess it kind of felt like a little bit laggy, like a little slow, which is totally necessary for the ebb and flow of everything. But this full moon right now, and like being on the precipice of this new month, it feels very intense, very powerful, very transformative. I think that there's a lot of change that's brewing right now, and it might not necessarily come out too soon, but it's like it's brewing, if that makes sense. I feel like now is a good time to tap into the cards. These are the cards that I use. It's the Mystical Wisdom deck. It is an absolutely stunning deck of cards. I have fallen in love with this deck of cards. I've used it. It's what seems like more than any other deck that I have. This is what the back of the cards look like. And I'll just let you connect with these for a moment. If there are any specific intentions that you'd like to bring to this reading, if there are any questions that you've been asking things that you want a little bit of clarification on, advice, or if you just want to kind of see what comes up, then that's all right too. I'm gonna set an intention of just letting whatever divine wants us to know be illuminated right now. The way that I perceive the full moon is that it's bringing light to our shadows. It's the brightest nights that we have, and in its fullness, I feel like it's a really potent time to break down some of our patterns and cycles, and be able to shed light on what's been going on, like, you know, behind the veil of our physical, on a deeper soul kind of level. And I do feel like it's, the full moon is more so a good opportunity to, if you feel called to release and purge things, because, you know, from here on out, now that it's full, it's going to continue to wane completely away. So I kind of correlate that to, you know, illuminating what's going on and these, you know, things, whatever they are, and letting these things like wane out. And then the new moon being the time to really like set in some new intentions, plant some new seeds, because from the new moon onwards it's waning. Well, I guess, I don't know if you would still say waning, but, you know, it's getting fuller after that. So you're like bringing in more abundantly every phase, you know, these new intentions, these new growths. So that's just how I perceive it, and however you perceive it is completely relevant, and you should always, you know, do what aligns most with you and what feels right. But for the intention of this reading, the intention that I'm gonna bring in, I just want to really open this reading up to, I guess, calling out what needs to be called out for us as a collective right now. What shadows need to be illuminated so that we can decide what we want to do about it. What is the most, you know, important things to really ponder about during these times. First card is the intuition card. I'll go into all of them in depth after all of the cards have presented themselves. Wow. The second card is the animal bond card. Both of these cards came up in the last reading I did on Instagram, which is so funny. And the animal bond card in specific has been coming up so much for the readings I've been doing for the collective. So I don't quite know what's going on with that, but we're gonna find out. And then two more cards came out at once. the Go with the Flow and the Knowledge card. I'll just open up the intention right now that if any last messages want to come out, then they will, and one did. Works for me. The last card that came out is the Celebration card, which has also been coming out a lot. So, the first card that came out was the Intuition card, which came out in the last reading that I did for the collective. And this card says, trust your intuition. Your intuition is an inherent gift to you. It is your infinite and divine intelligence guiding you in all ways. In your thoughts, words, dreams, and deeds. Everyone has innate intuitive abilities that need to be put into practice when facing challenges. You may experience this as a gut feeling or even a hunch that may be very accurate indicators of the right choices for you. Practicing and exercising your intuitive abilities can strengthen these gifts, which can give you an advantage when making decisions, developing your There's a period there. Pause. Developing your intuitive abilities is probably one of the most valuable things you will ever do for yourself. Intuition is a very accurate guiding force in all aspects of life and can contribute to your success and fulfillment. And each of these cards has a mantra that you can, use to kind of integrate the meaning of the card into your life more. And the mantra for this one is, I trust my intuition to guide me in all areas of my life. This is a very, very powerful card. Definitely calling in the need to make sure that we are really trusting ourselves, and that the decisions that we're making, no matter how big or how small, are aligned with that gut feeling of what we know is right. Those kinds of things don't always get to be, my words are getting all twisted. These things don't always get to be explained. You don't always know for sure if you're making the right choice, but your soul knows. You're being led and pushed into a certain feeling and direction, whether you understand it or not. That is the intuition, and that's the calling that you need to be following in these times. And that does feel very potent, because times lately have been so intense, so harsh, so hostile. And that doesn't mean that there's not also gentleness and beauty. There's always all of that. But, things have been stirring for a little while, and it is just as relevant now as ever, if not more so now, to truly lean into our divine calling and to trust in ourselves, because that's all that we have wanted. That's all that our souls have wanted this whole time so far. Our whole lives, we've just wanted to trust ourselves and be guided and know that what we're doing is just, aligned. And it's not always that easy, but the best way that you can ensure that you're on the right path and that you're in alignment with your calling is to really, really delve into your intuition and make sure that you're practicing trusting it as often as possible. The next card that we got is the Animal Bond card, which is the other card out of all of these that has been coming up the most alongside the intuition. This Animal Bond card is kind of a mystery to me still. Maybe after reading all of these cards, we'll get a deeper sense of what exactly is going on with it, but it's been coming up so much. The Animal Bond card says, stand up for all animals. You have a special relationship with animals. The world needs you to stand up and have a voice for all animals on the planet. Help protect the wildlife and rescue animals when you can. Give a donation or get involved online. Volunteering your spare time to animal shelters would be greatly rewarding. This may just be the time for you to save a cat or dog from the shelter and give it a loving home. And the mantra is, I share my love with animals and the world. I think that it is always important to support our natural world as much as possible. I think that we also have a lot of wisdom and insight to gain from the natural world, from the earth and all of its creatures. You see here that there are some correlations between these cards. We have a lot of birds and feathers, and then we also have some feathers and birds on the intuition card as well, and they're also looking at each other. And here's the full moon as well. There is a very big significance right now to connecting and protecting the earth and all of the creatures on it, and that can be a really overwhelming thing. I know that there are a lot of people who dedicate their lives to, protecting wildlife and all of those amazing causes, and there are others who don't, but we care just as much, and there are things that can be done even if you're not a part of a big organization, or if you're not able to donate, or whatever the case may be. Simply going outside and connecting yourself to the earth, sitting down, looking at the trees, looking at the sun shining, the sky, the full moon, and just being so present with that beautiful, gentle, yet forceful energy that she permits, is just one of the only ways that I am able to get by sometimes, like being an existential person, connecting with the earth and connecting with nature and bugs and animals of all kinds is something that has kept me sane and happy and so tenderly felt and seen throughout my whole life. I feel like I'm going to want to come back to this card, but let's continue on for now so we can start building on the bigger picture here. The next card is the Knowledge card. This card says, seek knowledge. Knowledge is the most powerful tool that you can use to bring about change to yourself and to the world around you. Building knowledge is an ongoing process with results that will last you a lifetime. No one can take this away from you. Knowledge is the foundation that can provide you with opportunities of fulfillment and freedom to choose your life's paths. It brings about confidence and clarity, so follow your path with enthusiasm and focus. And the mantra is, knowledge brightens my horizons for the future. I love this card. It feels very aligned with the season right now. We are in fall and going into winter, and she's all nestled up in a cozy place with her book, with this glowing, fiery picture, and all of these beautiful, mystical designs. We also have just so many things going on. I think that these little portal type of moments around here are maybe just, you know, a bunch of different things that she's learning about, things that are being presented in, you know, the books that she's reading or whatever. When I'm looking at these cards together, they are playing together in some way. This animal bond card and all of these birds are going directly into this card of knowledge. It almost gives me a sense of maybe we need to take more time to be educated on certain aspects of the natural world, whatever it is that you feel most called to, whether it's a certain animal or a certain species of animal or certain parts of the world, jungles, forests, whatever. Kind of feels like perhaps it is a good time to just become more educated, and that could even be a sense of not really like studying in books, but like going out there and once again immersing yourself in your environments, immersing yourself in the energies of the natural world. The earth and animals and insects, all the creatures have so much knowledge, so much to teach you, so much insight to bestow upon you. And one of the best ways that you can learn these things is to just be present and observe. The next card is Go with the Flow. Let things happen. The magic of the universe knows what you desire and wants to deliver the best outcome for you. So don't let go. Oh, so let go. I wanted to say the complete opposite. So let go. Step aside and accept help from others. Sometimes people become used to resistance and struggle. Me. Everyone accepts this as a part of how life is supposed to be. When you relax, go with the flow, and let go of the situation, you will see how amazing the results will be. It will be more favorable than you anticipated. The mantra is, I accept help from others. This also has the full moon in it, and has these really, really cool, beautiful butterfly fish that I just love so much. I love the imagery of this card. And now we've had the full moon pop up twice, which is really awesome. Honestly, now that I'm looking at the moon on this card, it doesn't really look full. It looks like maybe like a waning gibbous phase, or it might be full and just like have a slight shadow. But either way, I love the moon imagery, and this one is certainly a full moon. But when looking at the cards facing down, these, let's see. These two are facing each other, which is beautiful. Gives this like kind of adventurous feel, like going out in nature and just letting it all take over you, seeing what happens, seeing what you can learn, just by being present and showing up in those spaces. The last card that we got is the Celebration card, which has come up a few times. Let go and have fun. Now is the time to celebrate a special event and have some fun. Get ready for a party, wedding, graduation, a job promotion, or a festivity. This is the time to celebrate and be joyful. This is a special moment to spend with family and friends in a positive and uplifting environment. Let go of worry and doubt and focus on the abundance available to you right now. Eat, drink, dance, be merry, and enjoy the pleasures and memories that these special occasions bring. And the mantra is, I enjoy special moments with my loved ones and friends. That's sweet. And this is the one that came out at the very end when I asked if there's anything else that the divine wanted to get across, and that was it. Okay, yeah, I'm getting a full picture moment right now. So, we've got these two, and then it goes like this. So we've got these 3 cards, and so first we're starting with the animal bond card, which is flying flying into the go with the flow. And then we have this celebration, beautiful lady who almost seems like she's flowing out of the go with the flow card. But then what made me have the full circle moment is that if you look in this corner, she is absolutely surrounded by a bunch of animals, and her hair is trees that are shedding leaves, and it's fall time right now. I mean, come on. She's got this beautiful veil of rainbow, which ties back into the intuition card. But I really do feel, even more so now, that a really big message is coming through to really immerse yourself in nature. Nature is instead of saying nature, I'm going to say Mother Earth is the ultimate teacher. There is honestly nothing that can really teach you as much as the earth, in my opinion. People who love like science and like, I don't know, just study, like physical study, are gonna be like, well, actually books give you the most knowledge, which I agree with as well, for sure. I mean, books are fucking great and amazing, but I mean, the planet that we're living on is just absolutely mind-blowing. And even just like, I have personally learned so much from the earth and have noticed so many synchronicities and so many lessons that have truly helped me in certain times in my life when things were really, really hard, or I'm just looking for a sign, or I'm just like needing support and needing love. And then I just go sit outside and watch the wind blow through the trees, and then a bird comes about and chirps and does something, and then I look and there's a bug right there and it looks at me, and then it's just this whole cycle of like feeling so deeply connected to everything. And I think that in a time like the present, where we have so much technology, so much information in our faces all the time, accessible at any time, so much turmoil in the political world, in the societal realms, in the different paradigms that come with that, things get so heavy and so overwhelming, and honestly, it's easy to just get lost in all of that sauce and end up being a really sad, miserable person. But I don't think that we're meant to be that way. I really don't. I personally have always felt extremely connected to the earth. I've always been a bug girl. I've always wanted to go find roly-polies and make mud pies, and I still want to do all of those things. And I don't know your background. Maybe you grew up that way as well. Maybe you grew up the opposite and you've just never really been connected to the earth. You haven't really wanted to like go, play outside as much or whatever. But there is a really big calling right now to do that. There's so much to learn and so much peace and love that is waiting for you when you decide to be present with, all of the creatures around and the trees and the dirt and all of the things. It's all living and it's all reflections of ourselves, and it's looking right at us. It's just waiting for you to, acknowledge it and be present and let your guard down, get a little wild, go out of your comfort zone a little bit. Feels so relevant. I've been absolutely craving going to the ocean, going to the redwoods, looking at some mushrooms. I think that sometimes I put myself in a situation where like I just want to go somewhere, and then it kind of like makes me think that I can't just literally go in my backyard or go on a walk around the neighborhood and get that same sense of fulfillment and love and peace and serenity. So I guess that's my reminder to you that it doesn't have to be an extravagant trip or some big thing. Literally just like going anywhere where there's grass, or just stepping outside and seeing where the wind takes you, going with the flow, letting your intuition guide you. See what happens, see where you end up, see what you learn and what you find. I'm getting this sense of awakening. Something is awakening, and those who are able to perceive it and acknowledge it and be present with it are going to gain a lot of wisdom. And going back to what I had said about the world being a shithole, no, I'm just kidding, about the world getting a little crazy at times, I think that this last card is not only bringing it to a full circle moment of like we really need to tap back into nature, but also that with everything going on, like, it is still important to have fun. It is important to spend time with people who make you feel loved and who you love, people who truly care and want the best for you, people who inspire you to let go and have fun and become childlike, I think that the older we get, the harder it is to tap into that childlike, playful, joyful energy. That like sense of everything being new, everything being so amazing because it's just like this brand new experience, seeing it with fresh eyes. But that is something that we still can attain even as we grow older. Nature is a great way to do that as well. Going outside and climbing a tree naked and howling and like it doesn't have to be that intense, but like if you want it to be, make it, like I'm getting a big sense of having fun and being primal. I'm hearing primal, but also sophisticated. Also, like being primal and having fun and trusting your intuition and being this like super flowy, organism that's just like a phenomenon, but also like taking all of those experiences because you're being present and like using them to build a foundation of knowledge for your future and just for your soul, for yourself. Being able to spread that love and joy and knowledge and knowing with other people. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's a very beautiful reading. Makes me feel good and happy and excited about the future, and I hope that it does for you as well. It also feels really good that I just did all of that and I didn't get cut off by an Instagram reel, like cut off time thing, so that's cool. But yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it at this. I'm gonna let you all let that, I'm gonna let everything sink in and let myself be present with my own little rituals for this full moon, and let all of you do the same. And if you resonated with this reading in any way, if there was anything that came up and you're like, I felt that, or oh, something like that has come up for me, or I've been thinking that, or someone has said that, let me know in the comments. I would love to interact with you, and you guys commenting and sharing your interpretations just makes it feel even more so like an energy exchange and not just me talking to myself on a phone. So I love and appreciate that. And thanks for watching this video if you did. It is my official first YouTube video, which is super awesome, and I am going to celebrate that, because no matter how awkward or silly it feels to be doing this, I know that the people who are aligned are going to watch it and see it and appreciate it, and I will always be present for those moments. So thank you so much, and I will see you guys next Sunday for the first episode of Earthling Elaborates on here instead of Instagram. And if you do want to follow me on Instagram, if you somehow popped into this video just through YouTube, then it is linked on my channel. And I hope that you all have a beautiful rest of your week, and enjoy the rest of your night or whenever you're watching this. Bye.